So initially you made amazing progress when you just got started on your fat loss journey, but for some reason, it's like for the last couple of weeks, you've just been stuck at the same weight and now you don't even know what to do anymore. So in this video, I'm going to give you a strategy that's actually very simple and that will get you out of that rut most of the times. So first things first, you need to understand that it's normal for your fat loss to slow down as you go through your journey. Okay, you're not always going to lose 1 or 2 or 3 pounds per week. It is very normal for you to, in the first 2 or 3 weeks, lose a bunch of pounds, and then after that your weight loss plateaus. And that's not because there's something wrong with you, that's just how fat loss works. So a good way to explain this or to think about this is, let's say someone's going to make a sculpture out of a big piece of rock. Obviously, within the first few days, you're going to see the most progress because that person's going to have to remove big pieces of rock to get the basic structure of the sculpture. But after that process is done, he starts doing the fine details of the sculpture. So the visible progress seems a lot slower because he has to carve out the nose and the ears and all of the small fine details that's almost invisible. But it takes a lot of time, and it's exactly the same thing with your body. In the beginning, you make massive changes to your life and you see quick and big results. But then after you actually built a healthier lifestyle for yourself and you kind of got rid of those worst habits that were keeping you out of shape, then it's all about staying consistent and carving out the small details. So let's get into the strategy. First thing you're going to do is take a week off from your diet completely. Now look, I know this sounds pretty counterintuitive, and this is not even just because it's kind of like a refeed, resetting your metabolism. The big thing is just giving yourself a mental break. A lot of times what happens when you just get started on your fat loss journey is you're super locked in, and as I just mentioned, you make insane progress in the beginning, so that constantly motivates you, so you're absolutely on point with your diet all of the time. But a few months later, when you don't make as much progress anymore, and also you got rid of most of the fat that you wanted to get rid of, your motivation levels are more than likely going to be lower, and you're probably just not going to be that locked in with your diet anymore. And if you give yourself a mental break, give yourself a week where you can eat the foods that you wanted to eat for the past few months, and where you just let go a bit of yourself, there's actually a bunch of good things that will happen in that week. For a lot of you, you'll realize that you don't want to eat junk the whole time. You'll probably feel a bit guilty by day 3 or 4 and be like, okay, I'm actually looking forward to getting more structure into my diet again. And also, it's just good to take a break from your diet, give yourself the opportunity to eat the foods that you wanted to eat. And then after that week, you're fully focused again and you're ready to get back on track. Now, you do have to be careful when you take off a week like this because it is very easy to fall off completely and ruin a bunch of your progress. Don't go into this week letting yourself go completely every single day, because yes, you're probably not going to ruin all of your progress and pick up like 10 or 20 pounds in a week. But if you really let yourself go completely and just eat whatever the hell you want all the time, stuff yourself like a little pig, you can damage your progress a lot. I'm not even going to try and pretend otherwise. On top of that, if you do damage your progress like that, you're also mentally going to feel so bad, and you're probably not going to get back on your diet that next week. And then this is just a cycle of, okay, I'll start next week or I'll start tomorrow. And then before you even know it, it's 3 months later, you're not back on your diet and you picked up 20 pounds again. So make sure when you go into this, you still moderate the way you eat. I want to encourage you to not eat the same meals you ate on your diet. Eat some other meals. It's okay if they're a bit unhealthy, but give yourself a framework, something like, okay, 2 main meals a day and 2 snacks. I want to say snacks are a very big problem for a lot of people. It's not having 1 or 2 big nice meals. It's snacking all of the time, eating something there, eating something there, eating a packet of chips here, and before you even know it, those things count up, and those are really the things that ruin you. So go into this with a framework. Tell yourself 2 or 3 meals a day and 2 or 3 snacks a day, and then you stick to that. Next up, you also want to take a break from your training program, because if you've been consistently training for 6 to 12 weeks, it is very likely that your body just needs some extra time to recover. Because yes, you take rest days, you hopefully recover well on other days, but over a long period of time, it is always good to now and then give your body just like a week off where it can relax completely. Now, it's important that you don't do some other intense form of exercise throughout the week. Take off your gym sessions, just relax. It's okay. If you watch Netflix in the time you usually went to the gym, that's 100%. Just make sure you don't lie and eat a bag of chips every single time and drink 2 liters of Coke. As you can see, a lot of this is just about using your own good judgment and using the discipline you've built over the last 3 or 6 months or however long you've been on your fat loss journey. I take deload weeks. I sometimes take 2 or 3 weeks off and I don't pick up a ton of weight because I have these frameworks that I can give to myself. It's okay to take a week off, not hit the gym, watch Netflix in the time you usually went to the gym, but it's not okay to do that and then also eat for the entire 2 hours you're watching Netflix, and then when you stand up 2 hours later you eat something else and you drink 5 beers. That's the problem. You have to give yourself these frameworks that you can follow. This way you don't subconsciously stuff yourself with a bunch of calories that you don't really even value. So that's basically it. Take a week off from the gym and take a week off from your diet and make sure you enjoy it. Don't be over there having a bunch of anxiety because you're not in the gym and because you're eating some of your favorite meals. That's totally fine. As long as you keep it relatively moderate and you get back on track that next week. That is the biggest problem. Even if you go ham completely for a week, if you can just get back that next week, you'll be fine. But the problem is if you go too ham, for most people, they feel so bad that they just don't get back on track that next week and then they spiral all the way downwards. So I hope this video made sense. I hope this is helpful for any of you struggling with a plateau. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.